Hi guys, we're back to talk about the next step in the effortless weight loss system, and that is dining, or more specifically, dining richly on 2 to 3 meals per day with no snacks in a strategic manner. So what that really means is, first of all, dining, as opposed to merely eating or feeding, dining richly is a celebration of food as not just nourishment, but sustenance, and it is a ritual and tradition that we have as humans, and we want to keep that in our lifestyle and really celebrate the joy of food. 2 to 3 meals per day does something for us which is extremely valuable on the hormonal front, and that is it optimizes our exposure to insulin. So insulin's that master hormone that allows us to absorb nutrients and do a number of things, but chronically high insulin levels will block fat burning and lead to more fat storage, as well as cause other health problems, and that's known as hyperinsulinemia. So by eating only 2 to 3 meals per day, we avoid the negatives and maximize the positives. The no snack policy is consistent with, again, not having too many feedings through the day, but one of the things you'll notice is because you're eating such nutritious food on the plant-based diet and enjoying your meals by dining richly, you probably won't be hungry very often anyway, and that is just a wonderful freedom. Next, when we look at strategic dining, this gets kind of tactical, if you will, and what we're going to do is recommend front-loading calories. And so this is that age-old advice that everyone's familiar with, to eat like a king for breakfast, a prince for lunch, or a pauper for dinner. In reality, the main message here is that your evening meal should be the lightest of the day. And that means we don't take a caloric surplus into bed, which might lead to more fat storage as opposed to fat burning. Some folks will not care to eat a large breakfast, and they might prefer to eat their largest meal of the day at lunchtime, and that works fine also. And so you can decide whether you're eating 2 meals or 3. Mainly the idea is to front load calories, and since we're not counting calories, just looking at food volume on your plant-based diet, and have your larger meals earlier in the day. Now, the other part of strategic dining is to backload carbohydrates, and that's it sounds fancy, but really what this means is we're eating more of our carbohydrates in that evening meal, even though that evening meal is not exceptionally large, and we're using plant-based carbohydrates in our planet-based diet. Hopefully that wasn't confusing. We want to try to employ this strategy, and the reason is if we go through the day eating mostly fats and proteins and a small amount of carbohydrate, we don't spike insulin very much at all, and we get more benefits, more fat burning benefits through the day. Then in the evening, our metabolisms actually have a better use for those carbs to refuel our stored energy, our glycogen stores, and some other cellular features which or functions which work primarily in the evening, and they are somewhat carbohydrate dependent. Now, just to say this, carbs are not an essential nutrient, and we can make them. We don't have to eat them. We make them fairly efficiently from byproducts of the metabolism of fats and proteins. Our bodies are designed to do that, but the carbs that we're ingesting from our plants in our planet-based diet are providing more than enough to take care of all of our health needs, so don't worry a bit. The last thing in strategic dining is we're dining under the influence of our parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm sure everyone's familiar with what we call the autonomic nervous system, and that has a fight or flight and a rest and digest side. So fight or flight is sympathetic, and rest and digest is parasympathetic, and that's a calm state where we can enjoy our food the most, and it actually has been shown to increase the acidity in our stomach and the efficiency of our digestive enzymes. And so there are many benefits to eating in a calm state, and one of those, of course, is that it accelerates fat burning and keeps us away from a sugar-dependent metabolism. Okay, so that's basically dining in a nutshell, if you will. And next up, we're going to talk about some unique circadian relationships with that dining. So thank you, and see you back here in a moment.